What is up, guys? Zan from the Madden YouTube channel. Today's video, we're going to take the 245 odd and take it to the next level. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to take your game to the next level in Madden 21, check out my strategy site, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan released on the website while your subscription is active. Most recently, that was my Nickel 245 defensive game plan with the best pass rushing cocktail, gap shoots for all the popular runs, and coverage metas to counter the bunch, trips tight end, anything that could get possibly thrown your way. So head over to gridirongameplans.gg, $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's get into today's video. You guys remember a couple weeks back, I talked about why the 245 odd might potentially be a defense that could be better than the 335 odd. There was one small caveat to it. You had to do a little bit of tinkering with players to move it. Well, I was in the lab over the weekend, kind of taking a look at some different timing mechanisms for this, and I found a way that I think is going to be able to get this to work. Now, as you guys know, the 335 odd is kind of viewed as the Montez Sweat blitz. And, you know, I think that this is a blitz that is pretty well popular knowledge at this point. Everyone knows it. And it's basically predicated on agility. You need less than 70 agility on all Madden, and you need less than 80 agility on all pro to get this to work. So for this particular video, I'm going to be using Khalil Davis on the Buccaneers, who is low 80s speed and is really low agility. So this is a player that works on all Madden. And one thing that we kind of talked about with this tip was that when you ran the Nickel 245 odd, that it was a little bit more flexible as a whole because of the fact that you could create some kind of sugaring the A-gap style blitzes, meaning that, you know, when we broke the huddle, I could easily set up pressures, you know, that looked, you know, kind of like this, right? Where, you know, you could just blitz across the formation, you know, it could walk guys down, I can mug gaps, and, you know, I had the ability to kind of give this illusion and, you know, kind of cover and, you know, guarantee pressure, right? Like very, very easy pressure setups out of this that you could dial up at any time. But then you also had the ability, if you wanted to basically set up the Nickel 335 blitz. But the only difference was that when you went to contain, this guy was not the guy that was in the contain, which is what you needed. So you had to kind of like move him in just a little bit and then move him like a click down closer to the line of scrimmage. This led to a little bit of an inconsistent result. You know, a lot of times you would get a guy to loop around just like you see right there, and that's a good blitz, right? But the problem was not everybody wants to have to move the guy, right? And that was kind of one of the feedback points that I saw in that video was like, well, if you have to move the guy, it's kind of a waste of time. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that, but just hold your thoughts for a second, because we're going to make it so you don't have to move the guy at all. We're actually going to make this really simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this play flipped. Any play you want that has this guy blitzing, again, following the agility rules based off of what difficulty you play on. You're going to hit the right bumper to hit your shift defense. You're going to hit up to hit spread, and then pretty quickly you're going to show blitz. So you're going to hit up, and then you're going to hit Y left. And what that does is it kind of just resets, and then when you go to contain, the guy that is the correct contain player is in his assignment. Now, for this particular play, I like to actually user this safety, and I like to kind of bring him down a little bit. And that just helps with this contain blitz coming around the edge. You see right there, without having to move him, I was able to set up easy pressure. Now, most players are not going to assume that this is 335 odd when you get this look. So again, all you have to do is hit right bumper up and then Y left, and then you hit contain. And that guy will contain and be the guy that you need to be contained. And this is going to allow you to consistently bring this looping pressure around edge without having to do too much. Now, why is this better than the 335 odd? Well, for me, this is better than the 335 odd because what ends up happening is you've got these guys that are down on the line in the event that your opponent wants to run the football. This allows you to really shoot these lanes well and kind of plug the runs. Now right there, that was a mid draw, but one of the biggest weaknesses of the 3-3-5 odd is the fact that it's not a great shotgun run defense. You can run inside zones away from it. You know, if you catch your opponent in, you know, something like, obviously like, we've seen a number of people say to just run inside zone away from it, right? Well, with this look, this is a lot more daunting to try to run inside zone against because you've got those guys in the gap. Now, obviously, I've got to be better with my stick right there as I just gashed that run right there. But in general, when you're playing MUT, you're going to have a lot of players that are like insane right here. The guys that are going to shed right away. So, you know, this is a defense that now you've got the ability to bring the pressure. I mean, shoot, I could bring contain loop pressure and then also stack, you know, a contain rusher off of this side and now still be able to, you know, hopefully bring double pressure, you know, have the ability to try to bring, you saw right there, you got B gap plus looping edge pressure with this particular setup. So this is, you know, kind of a defense that, you know, takes a little bit of a look at, you know, the main meta of the 3-3-5 odd and kind of improves upon it. Now right here, you notice that I spread my defense and then I showed blitz, but I was too slow to do it. And now the guy is the wrong guy. So now I've got to move that guy back in. So if when you do this, you know, you notice that the wrong guys in the contain, you've got to move him down to make that work. But again, all you have to do with this is when you break the huddle, it's right bumper up, and then you're going to hit Y or triangle on PlayStation, and then you're going to hit left to show blitz. So spread defense, and then show blitz, and then contain. And then from there, if you want to set up other pressures, you know, you can stack a guy on the edge, contain, you know, kind of get down into a gap like this. You know, you got the ability to basically guarantee pressure. You know, obviously you kind of tinker around with your placements and whatnot, but you're gonna have the ability to guarantee some interesting pressures out of this while giving the sugar look. A lot of players are used to that 3-3-5 odd where those linebackers are back here as opposed to down in the box. So again, guys, let me go ahead and respot the ball here. This is today's video. This is how you make the 2-4-5 without manually moving anybody. A better, in my opinion, and more aggressive looking defense than the 3-3-5 odd. So again, spread defense and then show blitz and then contain. It'll have the correct guy in his contain assignment. Now you can stack up like this. No, you could actually, you know, heavily blitz the right side if you wanted to. And then you just kind of stand right here. And you're going to have that looping pressure, B gap on the other side. And you can kind of bait underneath. So pretty decent blitz right here. I mean, all things considered, you could get B gap plus edge pressure. You see that you're sending, right here in this example, you are sending 6, but you're getting dual pressure against 5. So 2 guys free against a 5-man protection. You can, you know, obviously hybridize your coverage the way that you see fit. Again, right bumper up, Y left, contain. Now you can move guys around. You know, don't be afraid to, you know, take risks. I mean, this is a really interesting zone blitz concept. You know, you could, obviously with this, you're going to get over to this side and, you know, try to lurk things and trying to not give them very much time. And this is on top of the fact that, you know, at any point in time that you want, you could just go ahead and global blitz everyone and blitz this guy off the edge and play, you know, kind of play the sugar game where you just get down into a gap like this and try to guarantee your pressure. You know, you kind of stand right here. Even if they block a running back, you know, you're sending 7 against 6. As long as you play the touch and go game, you're going to get pressure. And that's going to allow you to kind of play that mid blitz style within the 2-4-5. Never mind the fact that if you wanted to, in the Ravens book and some other books, you actually had that double A gap 2-4-5 to go with this 2-4-5 odd as well. So again, guys, that is today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below as well. You're going to be able to check out better defense than this on gridirongameplans.gg. Again, my 2-4-5 defensive game plan dropped just last month, getting a lot of rave reviews. Both current gen and next gen actually have been saying that 2-4-5 defensive game plan has been doing very well for them. So if you guys are on the lookout for defense, go check it out, gridirongameplans.gg. Otherwise, I'll see you guys right back here with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zayn. Get in the lab and good luck.